Hello everyone and welcome back to another review here on the channel. Today I'm reviewing a brand new Blumhouse movie called Freaky from the director of Happy Death Day and Happy Death Day 2 You, Christopher Landon, and this movie is essentially the same type of premise that this director has done for his past new movies, which is take a sci-fi type genre niche and then add a horror comedy twist to it, and that's exactly what I did with Happy Death Day with the repeating day type thing, and with Happy Death Day 2 You being more of like a multiverse type thing, and this film is of course the body swapping subgenre sci-fi thing that has been in Hollywood for a while, like the Freaky Fridays, like, you know, the other body swapping movies like Your Name and stuff like that, and this film was good. I enjoyed it. It's a perfectly fine, entertaining movie from Christopher Landon, and honestly, I think it's about on par with his other two films. I really enjoy the first Happy Death Day for what it is. I thought it was really fun, and it's just really held up by the lead performance by Jessica Rothe, and she just destroys those movies. Her performance is so great in both of them, and she just really lifts that whole thing up. And for this film, it's actually not the main actress that you would think it'd be. It is definitely Vince Vaughn who steals this entire movie, and he is just fantastic. And the basic premise of this movie is Vince Vaughn plays a serial killer, and he's out on the loose murdering a bunch of people in this small town, and he eventually gets to our main character, and then he stabs her with this special knife, and they switch bodies. And of course now you have the high school girl in the body of this grown man serial killer, and then you have that serial killer in the body of a high school girl. And when I first saw the trailer for this movie, I was honestly more excited about Kathryn Newton's role of being, you know, the serial killer in this young high school girl's body, and I was really excited for her entire performance throughout this movie. And honestly, that's probably the biggest disappointment from this movie for me, because she really didn't have as much to do as Vince Vaughn had. Vince Vaughn had all the fun in the world making this movie. You can tell that he was just relishing in this really ridiculous over-the-top role, and he was great in it. Like I said, I loved every single moment he was on screen, but unfortunately Kathryn Newton, although she was great at moments, she just ended up just being just kind of bland, because that character, the serial killer character, didn't have as much of a flair of personality as I wanted that character to have. So unfortunately, Kathryn Newton ended up playing her role more serious and more just like straight face and stone cold, and that's just how the character was written. And she's a great actress, and she does that very well. And you can tell the difference between, you know, her obvious character and then that body swap character. But I wanted more from her, and the movie also fails at certain points where you kind of want more bodies to drop, you want more deaths, because the deaths are super creative and very entertaining in this movie. At a point, I just wanted more, because I mean the deaths were super funny and super entertaining, and like I said, like I just wanted more of that. And when you just want the characters in the movie to die, that's not the best thing necessarily, but you know what, it was entertaining, and I just wish she had a lot more to do from the script, which was pretty basic for the most part. And when I say basic, I don't mean that the script was necessarily bad. I just mean there's a few cliches in there that, you know, you obviously can't get away from, or I guess you could have gotten away from it, but there's some cliches that they check off for a high school type comedy like this. You of course have the high school girl who thinks that she's super unattractive, she's bullied all the time, and she just has a makeover, and then she's loved, and everybody is attracted to her now, and all the ridiculous cliches that you get in movies like these all the time. And it's just like, come on, it's just eye-rolling, and a lot of cliches like that. But I will say that this movie, unlike the Happy Death Days movies, is rated R, and so this movie actually doesn't get to hold back like those movies do. And so, like I said, when I say the deaths are very entertaining, I mean they are very entertaining. I didn't know this movie was rated R until I started watching and the opening scene happened. I was like, yeah, there's going to be language, there's going to be sexual references, there's going to be a whole lot of jokes and a whole lot of blood, and that's really what I took away from this movie, was just the pure entertainment factor of it being a slasher movie. Because this movie, much more than Happy Death Day and Happy Death Day 2 You, was a horror type story. It really was a horror slasher movie, and that's what I really enjoyed about it. This movie wasn't it didn't shy away from the kills, it didn't shy away from the language or from the other like cliches and jokes that you can pull off with a movie like this, because there are a lot, and I mean a lot of references to other horror movies, and they didn't seem cheap. I felt all those references were earned. There's a Texas Chainsaw Massacre reference, there's of course Friday the 13th references, there's Halloween references, even the killer at the very beginning, the opening scenes, was very much like Michael Myers. And I think that's part of the reason why I didn't like Kathryn Newton's portrayal of the serial killer, because that character was written as a Michael Myers type, you know, just brooding, super tall, super imposing type character. And there were some very clever things in this movie that I don't really want to spoil with that body swapping aspect with her character, or I guess his character, that I found very entertaining. And that was just about it. Another thing that I thought this movie did a lot better than the Happy Death Day movies was creating a group that actually felt like a group. They felt like they were friends. They felt like they had good rapport with each other. And I think the four that do eventually come together in this movie, the three friends and then the boy that she likes, this group was very, very solid. And I felt like they were good friends and they had great chemistry. And I think the Happy Death Days, especially the second one, really failed at that, because you had your Tree and you had your Carter, and then you had those other two characters, and then you had that other guy, and it's just like I can't even remember their names. They were not memorable at all. But this movie had a great relationship between MILLIE, Booker, Josh, and NYLA. They were all great characters. They were all very entertaining to watch together. And yes, their main drama between all these characters, especially with the main character, was fairly basic and fairly thin. But I mean, there was an attempt for it. There was at least an attempt for it. So I think my main thing about this movie was it was very entertaining. It was very fun to watch. It was a fun slasher movie in this modern twist age of horror comedies that we've been getting from Christopher Landon. And I think in that aspect, this movie works really well. But is this movie as creatively deep as I wanted it to be? No, it's just a fun R-rated slasher horror movie that was just entertaining to watch. Am I recommending you guys go run out to the theaters, especially now with the cases being as high as they are, higher than they've ever been in the US? Definitely not. If you're in another country, probably go for it. But I'm not recommending you guys run out to see this immediately, but it is definitely worth watching, especially if you do like the Happy Death Day movies, because, I mean, that's pretty much what this is. This is a Happy Death Day that doesn't hold back because it is rated R. And I think in that aspect, maybe it's a little bit better. And again, Vince Vaughn steals the show. That is the reason why you watch this movie. You watch this movie for Vince Vaughn, and pretty much Vince Vaughn alone, which I did say for the Happy Death Day movies. You watch it for Jessica Roth. That's what you watch that movie for, and this is no different from that. So that is my review for Freaky. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like, comment down below what you guys thought of this movie, or what you thought of the Happy Death Day movies. And honestly, since they're all one and the same, rank them for me. I think my rankings, I really don't know. I think Happy Death Day and Freaky are just toss-up for 1 and 2. They're pretty much on par with each other, and Happy Death Day to You, although I did enjoy it, I actually have a review for it. That one is probably a step below that one because of how convoluted that movie was. But they're 3 enjoyable movies, and I'm excited to see what Christopher Landon does next, as he is a very, very good director. And I kind of want him to do something more original instead of taking an old idea and adding a horror comedy twist to it. I want to see his own original horror idea or his own comedy idea that he just has completely his own and his own original thing. So that is what I want to see from Christopher Landon in the future. But that, again, who knows what he's going to do. He's probably going to do a sequel to this movie. He's going to do a Happy Death Day 3, which, if you watch my Happy Death Day to You video, I have a really, really bad joke at the end of what they can name the third one, which, yikes. But anyways, guys, subscribe to the channel, leave a like, comment down below, do all the things. I have my Mandalorian series running right now. I just did my 13 Days of Halloween series, so lots of things to check out on my channel, so definitely go do that, and I hope to see you all in my next one.